Good morning, everyone. Hi, welcome back. I just got done well, not just got done, but the Pokemon Presents just happened about an hour and a half ago. We just found out about Flygon and the new island coming to Pokemon Sleep, as well as the legendary rerun. And then I had to run to the store real quick. I now have a butter croissant, which is nice. And so, unfortunately, I do look like this at the moment. But I really wanted to sit down and do a little discussion about neutralizing mints, especially because the legendaries are getting a little bit of a rerun. I will talk about that. So, this week, we are getting 2 neutralizing mints. One was given to us, and one we will plant as part of the festive flowers or whatever. So here is the neutralizing mint. What this does is it removes the effects of a Pokemon's nature. It makes their nature neutral. And up until now, we have been very focused on catching Pokemon with the right nature. A lot of times, even if sub-skills are great, the nature kills that Pokemon and we end up getting rid of it. So I'm not sure how many of us have been sitting on Pokemon without a good nature, waiting for this day to come. I never really thought necessarily that mints would come, but I also knew that it was always a possibility. That being said, I didn't necessarily keep a bunch of Pokemon in my box that could benefit from a mint. I think that the neutralizing mint is probably the best way that they could have done this, because I think that having a mint where you could pick a nature or randomly re-roll a nature would be a little bit predatory, and I think the neutralizing mint makes this, you can turn a Pokemon that was killed by its nature into something that ends up working, or even in some cases something that's pretty decent. By the way, if you are interested in watching my daily sleep reports to see, where I'm at throughout the week and such, I post all of those on my Patreon. And you may be wondering, this girl has 60 subscribers. Why does she have a Patreon? And though you would be right regardless, this channel is not my only YouTube channel. I actually, most of my content is geared towards Pokemon Unite. That's what I had on my main channel. So the Patreon is coming from there, but I have decided to put all of my Pokemon sleep reports. I wake up, I record them, I post them on Patreon every day. Except for, Mondays when I do Sunday night sleep report with everybody on stream. So if you are interested, feel free to check that out. But anyway, I want to talk about a couple options for these mints. We will have 2, which means we've got some options. We've got a couple things to consider. So one of these things to consider is just going through the Pokemon that you have in your box that maybe a long time ago you have invested in or settled in that would be better with a neutral nature. One of these for me is this Meowscarada, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. I caught this as a Florigato shiny, and I have invested everything into it just because I really love this Pokemon, and I was so happy that I got a shiny. It's a fully mixed list. I have put 3 sub-skill seeds into it. I've put everything into it. And when we do get level 75 someday, I will put more sub-skill seeds into it. But you'll notice here the nature is speed of help down. Though it is countered pretty decently by this helping speed M, it might do a little bit better with the speed down nature taken out. And I can show you as well kind of what this looks like in terms of production comparison. I'll pull that up. We've got, this is my Meow. That's how much it does. It's got the bold nature. If I were to delete the effects of its nature, you can see that it does get better. Not by, I have good camp ticket off, I don't have an island on, but just, for ingredient counts and such, it does get a little bit better. It makes about 1 more potato, it makes a couple more milk, it makes a couple more ginger as well. The skill trigger gets a little bit better, not by much, but a little bit. The total strength overall gets a little bit better. So I think that this is an option for many of us who are considering using our mints because this Pokemon is something that I will always use regardless, because I have already invested so much into it. So throwing a mint into something that we know that we will continue to use regardless, I think could be a good option. Another one for me is this Chikorita, this now Meganium, that I settled on after a while because I've caught so many, and it is helping bonus, helping speed. The problem with this is it has ingredient finding up. Let me pull this up. Here is the Meganium. And if I turned off the effects of its nature, you can see that it loses some total strength here because it's not finding as many ingredients. It's finding a little bit less cacao. It's a mono cacao Meganium. But if we are using it for berries specifically, it finds a good amount more berries. Plus it has the Durin Berry, which is a pretty strong berry. And I've already invested in this Meganium, and I'm not trying to invest in a different Meganium. Like, I am done my hunt of this Pokemon already. I have this one, and then I have this shiny one that I would invest in regardless, you know, just because it's shiny or whatever, if I were to invest in another Meganium. So I think mints, for us to consider, are definitely for Pokemon that we are finished hunting. Because as far as we know, this will be a very rare item. You won't be able to get a ton of these mints. I should actually... Let's blow that up a little bit, just so that you guys can see it better. Pokemon that we are done hunting. We are already completed our hunt, whether we invested in it very early in the game, or we have just settled on a Pokemon that's a little bit subpar because we want to be done that hunt. It's good enough, just like I did with this Meganium, and, you know, this Meowscarada, for example, a shiny Pokemon that I will use regardless of how good it is. These are Pokemon that we can consider for our mints. In my opinion, that's kind of the best strategy. Because if you're hunting something and you have decided that you're going to continue hunting that Pokemon, there's always going to be an option for you to catch a better one. And with a limited resource like these neutralizing mints, it doesn't make a ton of sense to invest those mints into something like Trico that we're all looking for now, or Mudkip that's very prominent and spawning a lot right now. I can show you, you know, for example, a couple of my Tricos, and I did a lot of analysis about this on stream yesterday, where yes, sometimes these Pokemon can be better when given a mint. But I'm still hunting Trico. I caught like 11 or something so far. I'm still hunting this Pokemon, so it doesn't make that much sense yet. You can see also for this Minun, this is a Pokemon that would be pretty good with a mint because its main skill chance down, but it has skill trigger helping speed. So without that main skill chance down, it could be pretty good. However, why would I invest into this Pokemon now when this is the only Minun that I've caught, and there's going to be plenty of time to hunt this Pokemon because I'm not looking to use it right now? So that's some things to consider. The next thing that I think is very important to consider, besides using mints on Pokemon that you are finished hunting or that you have settled on and invested in already, legendaries. Let me pull up, I wish you could sort by just like legendary in general, but let's go to Raikou's. Actually, I'll just search for it. So here are my 4 Raikous. Now, the legendary event is coming back, as we just found, so you might have more of a chance to catch some, you know, more of the 3 legendary cats or dogs or beasts or, you know, whatever they are. So I wouldn't even necessarily invest a mint into these Pokemon right now, but legendaries are Pokemon that you do not catch a lot of outside of the events that they showed up in. Occasionally, they may appear wild. I have gotten lucky enough to catch a wild Raikou before, because wild Raikou has appeared twice total for me, but it is very, very rare. So it's unlikely that you can hunt good legendary Pokemon. It is purely based on how lucky you get on the very few options that you have. So I think when we're thinking about mints, you have to remember that it's very unlikely that you would catch a better one, which is why legendaries are a good option for mints. And I can show you this here. So this is the Raikous in my box. This one, I believe, was the, this is the OG, so this can't really get any better. One sub-skill seed could get it to skill level up M, but that's as much as it can get, so I'm not really considering this one. And then we have this one. This is the naughty-natured Raikou that's right here in the middle. And this has skill trigger S. Ingredient finder, don't care too much about that. Dream shard bonus isn't bad either. But it has skill trigger S. And it has speed of help up and main skill chance down. So the question is, even though Raikou works really well with speed, is a mint going to help this? So currently, it has 2.17 skill triggers per day, total strength of 8.3k because of that speed of help up. And it's not that much worse than this adamant one that I have in terms of skill triggers, even with the main skill chance down. So let's take a look. What if I skill trigger M'd this? Gets us about 2.33. What if I, and the strength is also 8.31, so a little bit better. And what if I gave it a mint? Now the skill is 2.45 and the strength goes down quite a lot. So in actuality, even though this is main skill chance down, the speed of help up was really carrying this thing. Even with a main skill chance not being down nature, the speed of help is what made this okay. So regardless, this Raikou is not really going to be that helpful with or without a mint. This next Raikou, this is my Berry Finding S Raikou. Let's put, that other one was 26, so let's just make this one level 30. And let's say, for example, we give this helping speed and this has EXP gains up, main skill chance down. This is now 1.89 skill triggers per day, but with Berry Finding S, it's got a total strength of 14k. Now, let's turn off the nature and give it nothing. Now we're getting about 2.10 skill triggers per day. And keep in mind, at level 50, there's a sub-skill seedable skill trigger here. So that might be even better once we get to that point. And a lot of its strength is coming from its berries. So it is getting better. Let's put the nature back on just to show it was naive. 14.615 with very few skill triggers. Whoops. 14.673, the total strength does go up, and the skill triggers goes up as well. So using a mint on this Pokemon is actually pretty decent. If I were to invest in this, I would probably put it to, like, not change the strength, like, not change the nature, not use a mint until after I get the effects of the EXP gains up, and probably get it to level 50. Let's, for example, sub-skill seed it again at level 50. 2.6 skill triggers per day with a good amount of total strength. This Raikou is one that I would not use a mint on. This is a random one that I have caught just naturally. The problem with this one is it doesn't have skill trigger, but it does have skill level up. Let's throw this at level 50. No other investment needed besides it being at level 50. It's got less skill trigger, less total strength by a lot. So at level 50, putting some investment into this Raikou actually makes it better. And because the Raikou is something that isn't able to be caught that often, it could actually be a really solid choice for throwing mints into. I also am sitting on quite a lot of sub-skill seeds, so I can easily sub-skill seed that up to helping speed M. Skill trigger M. I have only 406 Raikou candies, so it would be quite an investment. At the moment, I can get this to level 34 with the EXP gains up, so I probably would not, you know, invest in it until I knew that I could just bring it up to level 50, potentially with like a mini candy boost or something like that. So it depends on, you know, what resources you have available. But the point that I'm trying to make still stands. This becomes better with a mint, and this might be a good option. Let's take a look at my Cresselias. We have gone through my Cresselias on a video previously, so if you would like to watch me like seriously analyze all of these things, you can do that. This is the normal one. It's level 27 because I used it a good amount. What? Okay, yeah, that's this one, and it hasn't been updated in my box. My Cresselia luck basically is god-awful. We have this one, this lax-natured Cresselia with a mixed list. That's you, right? That's you. We have this naive Cresselia with double ginger. Where is he? That's you. No. But we have this one as well. Where's the naive Cresselia? That's you? Can I move that? No, it's fine. I wish I could move them into different spots. Can I? There we go. I can. And then this one, this naughty-natured Cresselia. So there's these three, basically, that I'm looking at. And every single one that I caught was main skill chance down. Oh, it's so painful. It's so painful to see that they're on main scale chance down. Let's take a look at this level 26 one. This is a lax one. And how often am I going to be able to catch another Cresselia, which is my point. This lax Cresselia, mixed list, which is pretty good. I want a croissant. I want a bite of my croissant. I just got these from Aldi. They're pretty good. Alright. So, with a sub-skill seed, hopefully it would just be one sub-skill seed. I could bring this to helping speed M. Let's throw this to level 50, just to fairly evaluate it. We get it to, whatever it is, helping speed M with the one sub-skill seed. We're looking at about 3.48 skill triggers per day, assuming no good camp ticket, no, like, skill boosts or anything like that. And let's turn off the bashful nature. We are now looking at 4 skill triggers a day. We mint this one. We have now gone up pretty significantly in terms of skill trigger. This is also almost 50k strength generally, and Cresselia can act as both a healer and a pseudo-berry Pokemon, so throwing, you know, main skill seeds into this isn't a bad idea as well. But that's where we end up with this one. If we are giving it helping speed M, it's potential that we could use 2 sub-skill seeds. It might roll on the wrong one. But helping speed M, and then you turn off that main skill chance down nature, this turns into something that's pretty good. Let's look at this next Cresselia, another naive Cresselia. Or no, this was lax. Yeah, this is a naive Cresselia, like the Raikou that I have. Throwing this to level 50, we don't really need to sub-skill seed anything just yet. We would consider it with inventory if it was that much better. We got about 3.72 triggers per day, total strength of around 19k, as opposed to this one, 49k with the helping speed, total strength. Let's turn off now. I know I haven't subscribed. I know I'm a fake fan. Let's turn off the nature. 4.45. This bashful natured one is still doing, you know, pretty good. A lot of that, you gotta keep in mind though, a lot of that is because cacao is like a better base ingredient than ginger, and this one has double ginger, so we don't, you know, need to think too much about that. But this one with the speed is getting us a lot more berries, which is another contributor to this overall strength being so high. This one gets us more triggers which means more psychic berries, which means more strength from the skill. So this one might even be a better option because of how different this skill rate is, the number of projected skills actually is. And you can see as well the amount of strength coming from each of the Pokemon. So you can see like 71% of its strength here is coming from the ingredients. And I kind of am hurting for ginger more than I'm hurting for cacao, honestly. So you might consider the ingredient list when you're investing in, you know, legendaries, whatever works for you. But I would probably go and choose this one because no sub-skill seed investment at level 50 ends up with more skill trigger just for fun. If I threw 2 sub-skill seeds into it, we would get up to 4.67 skill triggers and a little bit more strength as well. So a full invest in this Pokemon at level 50 would honestly be a really good choice. This last one, caught at level 28, this is a naughty Cress with helping speed. We throw a helping speed M on this. This is now, hello? This is now a very fast Cresselia. Still not giving us the amount of strength because of the cacao. But this is now pretty fast, but it's still got the skill triggers down. So let's throw the neutral nature on it. This one still isn't that great. Even with the neutral nature, this one is not that great. And I think a lot of that is also because not only ingredient finding M, but also because the speed of help up is just so beneficial on legendaries that you, even with the main skill chance down, you wouldn't necessarily want to take it off. But the Pokemon that have like naive natures or like lax natures that have this main skill chance down for basically no reason, investing these mints into it could be super beneficial because of the rarity of these legendaries. We're not necessarily getting rid of legendaries that we've caught, and we're also not able to hunt a really good one. So that's why I think that using mints on legendaries might be the best choice. Go through your legendary box, see if you have main skill chance legendaries that are main skill chance down that could potentially benefit from using a mint on them. Let me know your thoughts as well. What are you planning on using your mints on? Let me know how you think you're going to go about that. Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all next time. Bye!